Following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbb-radio.com.
Welcome to 71Kicks, everybody. How we doing? What's going on? We're doing the remote edition. We're filming from our homes. Zach's in studio. But yeah, we're just trying things out tonight, seeing the different format of how it will roll in the future if we ever need to do this. I think it's working fine. We're here. We're, still with you guif we're not in the same room. We're still here together, ready to talk some shop.
Right here?
That's right, man. Oh, yeah. We all kind of just forgot about this as we said it before, but we had the first day of the Champions League knockouts today. Some of those games, the playoffs were starting while the top 8 were, resting for a little bit here. We got the next 16 squabbling it out. Some interesting games today. But before we kind of dive into some of the gameplay and stuff, there's a big incident that took place today that we should be talking about, and we need to bring up because it was another just glaring, unfortunate incident of racism in the game. I'm forgetting the player's name, but it was a player from Benfica was racially attacking Vinicius after his goal that he scored for Real Madrid today, and Vinicius had heard it, asked the ref to stop the play. Real Madrid left the field, and then we had, I think it said 25 minutes of stoppage before they resumed the rest of the game. But we, again, I said it as, all these kind of moments and things happen. It's 2026, and unfortunately we're dealing with these kind of things that still take place in this world where we can't see each other as just for the people we are, but for color of skin and everything like that. The player tried to come at. I'm going to try to look up his name real quick, but the player
came out. Something, wasn't it?
Yeah, Benfica. He's this Argentinian player, and Brazilian accuses referee of poorly executed. Gianluca Prestiani. Listen, there's just, again, they have the campaigns for a reason. There's no room for the racism. There's no room for any of this still. And yet there's guys that are from these other countries and from these other places where it's not as prevalent of an issue brought up because it's just, again, they're like, oh, they'll throw it away. They don't care about it as much as, we make it a objective here to acknowledge these problems when they're taking place. And, it's good on Vinicius for stepping up and saying something. And, that's always what the action should be. We should at least still be stepping up and at least stopping it when we can. But, it's still, how do you prevent this? How do we stop it from continuing? I couldn't believe that I had to read that headline after the game, but again, it's what we got to deal with in the game.
Yeah, listen, Vinicius is a piece of shit, but no human being deserves to go through that. And there's the people that are saying that he brings it upon himself. That's all nonsense. Let's be honest here. If you want to call him out for being a little bitch, for being a little rat, that's fine. But make it a racial thing. That's where I draw the line. As much as I don't like the guy either, it's just never should get to that point where it becomes a race thing. If you, like I said, if you hate him, that's fine. If you hate him for his personality, I completely understand that. But if you hate him because of the color of his skin, just fucking grow up. And for a player to be making that kind of remarks, and the fact that he wasn't, and granted, I understand, there's only he says, she says, and they have to be 100% sure before they take action. And he was doing the thing where he was covering his mouth with his jersey so he could say it and get away with it. And Vinicius said like after the game, like this guy should just be banned. I think Mbappe said it actually. He should just be banned from the Champions League. And I completely agree. Like this guy shouldn't be allowed to fucking play in the Champions League ever again. If it comes out that it's true, which the way Vinicius reacted, like I don't know why he would react like that just because like they just scored a goal. Like he just scored a ridiculous goal too. Like that's the worst part about this situation as much as anything is like it takes away from the actual game and how great of a moment that was for him as a player. Like as much as much as it is obviously terrible just from a human rights perspective. But like I just don't get why he would react that way if nothing was said. So I'm completely with Mbappe on this one. Like this little prick should be fucking banned from the Champions League for good, as far as I'm concerned, and any other player that acts in this sort of manner.
Yeah, I had a situation in high school ball where a very good friend of mine, um, we were playing a school kind of out in the sticks, kind of behind the eight ball in certain things. And granted, this is back in the 2010s, but there was a situation where the word was used, and the player had to write an apology letter not only to my teammates, but to my school, to his school. Then he was kicked off the team. He was kicked out of the program. And unfortunately, as you know, I'm usually against like if someone gets banned for gambling, you're just not good at gambling, right? I don't think there should be bans. But when it comes to something like this, as much as these campaigns, you know, and it pains me to say it, I don't think there is a realistic option to completely get rid of this in any sport in the world currently. And with saying that, I think the organization needs to take it upon themselves to um, release the player. Honestly, I mean, an apology letter isn't going to cut it at that level. I don't care if it's Champions League. I don't care if it, you know, what it is. Um, there's no possible way. I mean, we've all been on the field as an athlete on some sort of playing field. There's no way, can't even take it out on the refs. As much as I and we hate the refs, there's no way that they can control what comes out of, in our case, the world of soccer, 22 players' mouths, with thousands and thousands of fans making noise and horns and this and that. There's no way to control that. And unfortunately, I think we're going to continue to see it, and it's horrible. It's a horrible thing. But again, with saying that, I think the organization needs to step up, and all organizations need to step up. And if this is something, you know, investigation, you know, go that far, that's fine. Suspensions without pay, release the fucking player off the roster. I don't think you want to say there's no room for that. You want to put a badge on your kit, but then 4 games later they're back on the field.
Yeah,
and it's just going to continue.
It.
They're grown men, right? They're grown men. All of these guys, and you know, some of them, Jamal is 18 years old, whatever. But these are grown men. They're not just going to change overnight because they're wearing a special badge that, you know, the league forces them to wear. It's the same with like NHL players with like the pregame, you know, the pride nights and stuff like that. Some of these players are refusing to wear it. And personal choice, fine, but like there's a bigger picture at hand. And if you can't respect that, then I don't think there's room for you on the team sheet.
Exactly. And your point about club accountability is the direct answer to it. You know, like that's where these clubs need to be able to understand, all right, is this where we take action? Do we have to, you know, tomorrow we should be seeing Benfica say something. We don't condone what our player was saying. We don't condone any of this kind of stuff that would happen, regardless of whether it did or did not.
But see, that's my thing too. What is the statement? That's, to me, that's an apology letter. That's the kid in my high school. That's the apology letter from the school. What's an apology letter going to do? It doesn't take it away from Vinicius. It doesn't take that away because 3 games from now, the player is back on the field.
Right. In the same breath, it's like, you know, we don't condone it. We're releasing the player from contract. There needs to be the proper actions and like universal sort of response to these things when they happen. Because you take a look at what happened. I hate, you know, to make the comparison because they're 2 different kind of things, but you look at how clubs handle these things and scandals when they happen, and it's come to news again this past week. Thomas Partey again is being accused of sexually assaulting 2 more women during his time when he was an Arsenal player, and it's the biggest taint on the club right now that I really just can't wrap my head. Like, it is so awful the fact that we kept that dude on the roster, paying him, playing him, and starting him in our team as this guy, and we had our manager backing him up, saying like, "Oh no, yeah, he's just a stand-up guy for everything he's going through." It's like, absolutely not. Okay, it's the same situation that happened with Greenwood at United. They, regardless of whether he was cleared or not, like, I still think he's a big loser, but like, the charges were dropped or whatever, and he's able to play now at Marseille. It's like, that's still just like, the dude should not be touching grass at all. He should not be on the field, and it's the same with Partey. Like, I'm not sure what's going on with him in Villarreal now, or I think that's where he went, but like, I don't think he's starting there. But in this same moment, it's like, you got another incident taking place in the game, and what the clubs can do can have the effect and set the precedent moving forward and how to handle these things. Like, this dude should be released, blacklisted from Europe, the Champions League, like we're saying, and go back to playing in Argentina. That's going to be the top ceiling you get, and that's it.
Should never be allowed to play again. You should never be.
I'm with Brandon. I think
Never be allowed to
FIFA
play again.
I think FIFA steps in, and this kid should be banned from life, and that sends a message that, like, if you do this shit in any of our competitions, you're done. We don't give a shit. There's no second chances. You don't get to just assault a man for it. Like, I don't care if it's words,
especially
like,
on the field shit, because
absolutely.
the Partey stuff happens.
Yeah.
It clouds the club for sure, but when you're on the pitch,
right,
you're never stepping foot out there again.
Yeah,
and at the end of the day, like, you are, as a player, you are a representative of your community. You're a representative of the team, the city, the country that you are from. Like, you have a responsibility to not be a complete piece of shit. I understand there's a lot of players that are pieces of shit, and that's that's always going to happen. They're always going to have egos. But at the very least, like, if it's just because they have like a big ego, that's fine. But if they're a piece of shit because of racial or anything like that, like biases, then they don't deserve to represent any fucking badge, for all I'm concerned.
No.
Let that kid's entire life's work go to fucking waste because he's a piece of shit and decided to racially abuse another man. Kiss his ass goodbye, say this is what you fucking deserve. Now go have fun working some shitty ass minimum wage job for the rest of your life because you had to fucking be an asshole.
Yep. And then unfortunately, with how things go in this world and in this sport, the accountability is just still,
it doesn't help either.
Slap on the wrist.
Disgusting animals at the top too.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Different, exactly.
It bleeds down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy stuff there. But regardless, like, of again, removing that incident from the game, Vinicius scored one of the best goals I've seen him score in a long time today. That was a really crazy one, and
I'm pulling it up on YouTube as you're talking about it.
Yeah, you got to check that one out. It's crazy. 5 goals in the last 6 games for Vinicius. He's finding some form again. Good for him in that regard, at least. I'm also not a Vinicius fan either, but when you have a player of that profile who can back up their game and be as good as they are, it's sometimes you can't do anything but, like, respect the game at least. That's how I saw Ronaldo for a long time, because, like, he was just such an arrogant piece of crap, but at the same time he's still scoring and doing crazy stuff. So, if Vinicius can find his form again, good for him, but just do it outside the Champions League, because if you play Arsenal again, we're gonna cream you. All right. What else happened this weekend? We had the FA Cup finish up, the 5th round, I believe. 5th round.
Well, YouTube kicked me out, so I'm gonna take your word for it.
Yeah, YouTube was kicking me out before it.
Bitches.
Some fun FA Cup draws coming up. Newcastle and City are going to play each other in a knockout round for we're their last 16, I think, now in FA Cup. We got Newcastle and City. Chelsea is going to go play at Wrexham for a very fun game over there. Arsenal got Mansfield Town, a League One team. So Nice little secure the bag right there.
A little early exit, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to see some kind of crazy fucking moment that happened to us there. Because this is the first time we're moving on from the 5th round in a couple of years, I think, actually. So it's shocking. But I want to hear, Zach, what do you think about the Wrexham tie? Are you looking forward to that? Is going to be any nerves going into the race course?
Nerves, no. Obviously, you know, there's the clip with Ryan Reynolds with Hugh Jackman, like all excited about it, and as they should be. You know, it's a huge moment for the club.
Yeah.
Obviously, we played them in a friendly. I believe it was last. I can't remember if it was this summer or last.
I think it was the summer before.
Yeah, I think it was the summer before. I think we drew maybe or something. I don't remember.
Something like that. I mean, it'd have been like either a 4-0 blowout from you guys or it was a tie.
Yeah. Whatever it was. You know, and I don't anticipate that happening again. Obviously, it's one for starters. It's preseason, so you know, our guys probably don't care as much as those guys cared. Obviously, the Wrexham are going to be up for it. I mean, some of those players have just been like, you know, Champions League players for a while, and obviously, you know, the growth they've had. I know a lot of people hate on it because it's like backed by billionaires or whatever, but you know, it still is a very cool story, regardless, in my opinion. And I don't think that community or their fans care how they got there. This is the biggest moment in probably the club's history. Granted, I'm sure somebody that's a fan of the club would tell me there's something bigger, but in my opinion, this is probably the biggest moment in their history. So enjoy it. I don't see it going well for them, but it is a really cool moment just as a fan of the sport for a team that was non-league like 4 years ago to have Chelsea coming into town and playing some world-class players. I mean, that's the dream at the end of the day with the FA Cup. This is the magic, you know.
Yep.
All right, world-class. Let's not push it.
We got some world-class players. All right, let's not be silly here. Let's not be silly.
You got your janitor calling the shots over there.
We have world-class players.
I will say there's a player that you guys have right now who's just been an ace, and he doesn't get enough credit. He's got the Zubamendi treatment is Enzo, man. I want to give credit where it's due for Enzo because he is holding it down for you guys in a time where, like, with Cole Palmer being injured for a lot of this year, Enzo is really like staking that place in the midfield for you and scoring goals too. It's always good to see.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not saying he's Frank Lampard yet. I don't know if he'll ever be at that level.
Get out of here.
Let me finish. All right, let me finish. I literally just said I don't see him ever being that level, but the reason he has number 8 on that shirt, he's starting to do very well with that late run into the box to finish his chances off. Obviously, I think a good portion of his goals this season as well have been penalties, and he's been pretty clinical from the spot. But he has certainly stepped it up a level this season. I think this is by far his best season of his career so far, at least for us. I've been really happy with the way he's playing. I think he definitely suits playing a little bit farther up the pitch. I just don't think like defensive work is suits his game as well as, I don't want to say he's like a pure like out and out number 10. Like he definitely plays more defensive for a number than the typical number 10. But I think that advanced role is certainly helping him this season, and I've been very impressed with them. I'm not going to say he's one of our world-class players. I think there's world-class players elsewhere in our team, but I've been very happy and impressed with Enzo this season.
Yeah, definitely. He's been holding it down. Now, what is damn, I lost my train of thought with that one because you were saying so like you're not classifying Enzo as one of the world-class guys. So then who fits that for you?
I think this season there's only no.
Steve.
I love Steve, but not yet. There's only I would only say 3. I think some people would go 4. Based off this season alone, I would go. You guys are gonna hate this. Cucurella is just a world class left back. As much as he is a prick and annoying for every other fan base to watch and gets booted there's a reason why he gets booted every stadium. It's not just because he's a prick. It's because he's good and he's a prick.
Is he a top 3 center back in the league? You can argue it. Is he
He's
world class?
So no.
He's the
He's
top.
not.
Oh, no.
He's
Did I say center back? No. Left back. My bad.
He's the best left back in the league.
Left back. Yeah, exactly.
He's the best left back in the league, and that's not even. I don't even think that's a crazy statement. Like there's nobody else you can throw up there that I think is a better left back than him. And then otherwise though, Reece James just is world class. Like he is unfucking believable. And if somebody can't see that at this point in time, I just don't have words for you. Like, I got nothing to say. Like, if you want to believe that, you're welcome to just be blind or have all your senses taken away from you. Like, because you just don't watch him play if you don't think he's world class. And then the other one I'd go is Caicedo. And those might be my three. I'm sure Chelsea fans are going to be slating me for not saying Palmer. This season, he's been too injury prone. Not injury prone, but he's just been injured all season. I can't throw him there yet. He's definitely starting to look obviously better. I mean, obviously the hat trick versus Wolves is a step in the right direction. He was very good against Leeds, even if he did miss that sitter at the end of the game. But he is building back up to that world class level, but he just hasn't shown it yet this season. You know,
You think he starts for England this summer?
I don't think he will. I think it's obviously a big question is going to be his fitness. I mean, there's people saying that if he should even make the squad, that's the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah, like, I don't know about that one.
Fully fit England squad though. Who's your midfield?
It's gonna be controversial, but my midfield three, obviously Rice is the first name on the team sheet. That might just be in any position, not even just the midfield. Like, he might just be the first name you write down when you're creating the lineup. I'm a big fan of Adam Wharton, but I think it will be Elliot Anderson that partners him. Either way, I do think you need an out-and-out number 6 partnering Rice going in the World Cup if they want a chance to win. And I don't really care if people are going to hate this. I would start Palmer at the 10 and bench Bellingham. I know that's a hot take. I don't think Bellingham's been any bit sensational since he was that season. I think he's been riding that season for about a year and a half now. He's still very good and still should be on the team and should be one of the first names off the bench. And if Palmer's not playing well, that switch should happen very quickly. But I do think both fully healthy. I think Palmer offers you more than Bellingham does. Or the other option is you move Palmer outright, bench Saka, and put Bellingham in a cam still. And it's tough because Saka is very consistent for England. I think his numbers could be better, but that's just the general consensus about Saka right now is that he needs to improve his numbers. But I just think he offers you something different that Palmer and Bellingham don't offer. I think Palmer and Bellingham are going to want to operate in similar ways. So I think Saka just gives you a different profile, which is probably why I would start him and play Palmer in the middle. But that would be more or less that would be my 3 going in if Palmer is fully healthy and ready to go.
No, that sounds. You can't argue that. Like, it's the argument in that case is him being healthy or not. Like, he's very interesting this year because he's so like not present in some of these games, but then, like you're saying, he's heating up now, and he had a hat trick against Wolves. But like, Palmer is very interesting. It's the same sort of situation with Eze, where he's not getting as many moments to shine, and in those moments when he is playing, he needs to be like top caliber, the player that we know that they are. And like, for the first half, like, it looked like Palmer was holding back, but again, now we're seeing a little bit more of that from him. So hopefully he can keep that up. Because a lot of these guys are fighting for these places in the Cup squad this summer. And it's interesting you're talking about Bellingham with, like, he's riding that, season of, like, the prolific season. Because, man, you really just haven't heard much from him since that first, like, impact season at Real. And then, it's I don't know if it was injuries with him over there, but like, it's
it
was right, something like that over the summer. It was over the summer when he got a surgery or something like that.
And granted, too, obviously with Mbappe there, a lot of the stuff that Ancelotti had him doing in that first season when he was at Madrid, he hasn't been able to do that as much. Where he was playing more of almost like a false 9. In that team, and like really pressing up and getting into the box and crashing, where you don't really have that option as much with Mbappe, just the way he plays. And that's not saying Bellingham's not good, because I think with Bellingham as like more of an 8 is still very, very good, arguably still world class at that position. But I just think we saw how much better he plays when he has that kind of almost same way like Bruno Fernandes, like how he kind of struggles with Ronaldo a little bit at times and picking up those pockets that just aren't there. It's not that they can't play together, and that it's not that they're both not like world class players. I mean, Ronaldo's not world class anymore, but it's almost like similar to that in my opinion, where like Bruno's numbers kind of started to drop a little bit when Ronaldo got there, because I just think the way those two play as strikers just kind of affect the way a player like that is going to crash into the box. And there was times where like Bellingham almost was their number 9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're like because their front three would be like Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Bellingham.
And this was because this was pre-Mbappe. Like
Yeah,
it was like Bellingham scoring left and right.
Yeah, and Bellingham was operating that number 10 on paper, but often when they were attacking, Rodrigo and Vinicius would pick up those wide spots, and Bellingham would crash in and hold the middle more. But obviously with Mbappe there, he's not expected to do that at all now. So just a little bit different style of play, which I don't. Like I said, I think there's people that are acting like Bellingham's not a good player, and I think that's just ridiculous to say. Like, he's still an excellent midfielder as the number 8, but I just think, like, when you're trying to win a World Cup, you need to ride the hot hands, and if Palmer's healthy, I think he's a hot hand you want in your lineup every single game.
Yeah, all right. I hear that. I hear that, man. All right. The argument of world-class Chelsea players.
There's only 4 I would go with, though. Anybody that starts saying anybody else, I think, is out of their goddamn mind. Like, there's people where I saw, because this was like a topic of discussion, and people were trying to put, like, Levi Colwell, who hasn't played a game all season, in there. I'm like, all right, like, even when he was healthy, like, he wasn't world-class yet. Like, very good, starting to build towards that level, but he was not there yet. And that's why I just hate watching too much media on my own club, because I think you just see ridiculous takes. I mean, Arsenal's the king of it, obviously, but I don't know if there's just one kid right now that's just the most delusion. I know he's just doing it for clicks, but like some of the worst, most heinous takes I've ever seen.
I know exactly what you mean with staying out of the sauce, because like I don't, even if they're that delusional, I'm not paying too much attention to
I don't
it.
know if you saw Alec, but he said Arsenal right now have 3 of the top 5 wingers in the world.
No.
So this is his listing. So he had, I believe it was.
He's not saying Saka. I know he's not saying Saka.
Oh, he did put Saka in there. So he put 3 Arsenal wingers that are not Saka. I don't remember the exact order, but he had Martinelli as the second best winger in the world right now, which is just the most delusional nonsense thing I've ever seen in my life. He had Trossard at number 4 on his list, and he had Madueke with 2 big Prem goals all season as the 5th best winger in the world. Which I'm like, I can name 5 wingers in London better than Madueke, let alone the world. Let's not drag it here. I mean,
now it's interesting you're saying that, because like as you were just talking about Chelsea players who are world class and all that, like I'm thinking as that conversation, it's like like in my regard, who's world class with Arsenal that you could put in that conversation, like. In that, when you say world class, that's them being able to start down any team, anywhere, no matter what, because they're that good in their position. And the first one, and probably the best, easiest one you could say is Declan Rice, because he's just been on a roll. Like, and you said it too, but like he's just been a player above like a level that everybody else is at right now. He's so consistent. He stays on for 90 minutes on the pitch, like, and he's running his ass off every game. He's insane. And then you can argue with Saliba and Gabriel as well being like the two, that pairing, that is the world-class pairing. Now, individually is where you kind of have trouble with that conversation, because like they've become so reliant on each other that the pairing of Gabriel and Saliba are world-class, but are each of them world-class on their own? It's tricky. They are, but like
I would put them both in that
100%.
I don't know, because like I've watched enough Arsenal games where when one is starting and the other isn't, we are shaky at the back and we are letting in goals. We're drawing games. I'm pretty sure that Brentford game we just played was not.
The games that you're playing where they're not together is normally the cup ties when they're playing like their third stringers. That's why they're struggling, because they're taking on so much, like such a heavier load. That's why.
Well, and that is true. That's true. But like, it's just those moments that get brought. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to make the argument with that. Like, me being me, I'll say like
Gabriel takes shots off his forehead from 3 yards away. That alone makes him world class.
Yeah.
Insane. Hands behind the back and just dips down.
That was like literally the last game, I'm pretty sure. One of the last games he played. He took one straight to the dome.
I get a headache watching them play.
Yeah, I don't understand how they do it. But I'm trying to think like right now, in the leagues, in the world of players, who like what is the world class like best 11 that's out there right now that you could say? Like you could throw Rice in there with Saliba, Gabriel.
Crazy take. If Calafiori's healthy, I think he's in the discussion.
I think
I don't say
discussion
he's
for
world
me.
class. I put him
Listen.
very close.
I think he's borderline. I don't think he's quite there. But the way he was playing before he got injured, he was borderline.
Can't take him off the
It
field.
was
Yeah.
borderline.
Oh yeah,
Insane.
his free roaming ability is insane. Up top, you can throw Kane, I guess, because like he's still just like he's under. He's not getting the attention that he could at Bayern in Germany, but he's still just a goal machine out there.
Yeah.
I saw a crazy stat though that like he's having his best scoring season right now. He's I think maybe at 26 or 25 goals so far already in the season. But if he wants to beat Lewandowski's best season at Bayern, which was like 50 something goals, he needs to score another 30 goals from now until the end of the season, and that's more than one goal a game or something like that. So Lewandowski, that guy was insane. What a machine.
I still remember really early on when he was still at Dortmund, and I didn't really watch a lot of Bundesliga. And I only really knew who he was because of FIFA. And I remember talking to my dad about going to the game, like, oh yeah, like he's the top scorer in the Bundesliga right now. Like he was the top scorer last season, and it was the game against Real Madrid. And this was when I was a big Ronaldo, kid, and I'm like, who's this guy? We have Ronaldo. Like who cares? He's not gonna do anything. And then he proceeded to put straight belt to ass on Real Madrid and score 4 goals. And I just remember like, I'm never gonna forget this motherfucker. Like this guy is legit. Yeah. And then obviously the 5 goals in 9 minutes is just the most ridiculous. Like
the coolest thing ever.
Like Pep literally looked like he was seeing a ghost or something. Like it looked like Pep looked like like his wife, like he got home from long day and his wife was already naked with some cocktails ready to go and he was locked in ready. I'm like it's like it was like I've never seen a manager look like that, just like in disbelief. Like I've seen some managers.
Pep lost his hair.
Yeah.
Like,
the rest of his hair.
Yeah, like it's just it's just like when we make a guy like Pep Guardiola who he's had Messi, like, and obviously he's always sung Messi's praises as everybody on the history of the planet should, but just the way he reacted to that moment from Lewandowski just says all you need to know about a guy.
Yeah, he's like going, not viral or whatever, but he was on a podcast recently and he was talking about that game where he says it's one of his favorite games because he doesn't think about the moment of like, I was ecstatic, I was loving this. He was just like, no, I didn't even realize what was going on. I was in such tunnel vision. I was just out there to score, and I was just scoring goals, and I didn't even realize how many I scored at the end of the game. Like he's like, it's insane when you hear him talk about it, man.
He had to have known. There's no way that he just
right?
like there's no way. I was just like, I mean, granted, I understand there is like the concept of flow state, and there it is just a thing in sports where an athlete just reaches flow state and just doesn't matter. Like they're just going to do whatever they want, and when they're at that moment. I mean, we've seen just like in other sports, like Curry at the Olympics last time against France.
Oh yeah,
where the France commentators literally.
That's one of the best.
Yeah, the France commentators literally calling him the devil because he just can't fucking miss. Like it's just like I think it was Nicholas Batum said like no other human in the history of Earth is ever hitting the shots that he was hitting in that game, and I don't think it's ridiculous to say that either, but. Sticking with soccer, though, we've seen Messi hit flow state so many times. We've seen Ronaldo hit flow state.
I mean, I almost don't want to go back to soccer because, that moment right there, I was living in that moment, man. We all were. If you were watching that live, watching Curry drop, 3 or 4 3-pointers in a row, that was one of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen.
I was at B-Dubs in L.A., and that was absolutely electric.
Oh yeah, that was insane. I jaw drop. I was hollering at that. That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, the last. I don't know if it was the last one, but the one where he just literally put 2 defenders in the blender and just hit the shot over him.
Isn't that the one that he put him to sleep?
I think that was the dagger essentially, and it's just geez, how did It's just one of those things where you just watch and you just as many
his
times you've
wife
seen that
wasn't
guy,
happy.
Yeah, like it's
Right.
just
You got an entire nation standing up, and your wife's not happy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's who knows what's going on, you
Go
know.
write a cookbook.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Yeah, we could switching gears. We'll go. Let's dive back in here. Flow state of the game. I'm just pulling up the leaderboards here.
Did you guys hear about Pulisic? What the asking price is?
Yeah, I don't know if I can believe that. I don't know if
What?
how legit that is, man. 80 million for him.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like he's had some great all right.
Look at the numbers he's putting up when he's on the field. Don't give me that look. We
I'm
just
not
had a
going to
conversation about
slander him.
Palmer.
No, here's the thing. I'm not going to slander him. He's just too injury prone in my regard and like
We
how old
just
is he
had a
now?
conversation about Palmer.
That's what I'm saying though. It's
Okay,
like
so Palmer's on the transfer market. How much is the asking price?
So, yeah, but let's be honest here. Palmer's a level above Pulisic.
I'm not saying Pulisic is Palmer, but I'm just saying. Look at the numbers he's putting up in the league.
Palmer,
Right.
You also got to factor in the age. He's only 23. I think.
Yeah.
Still.
Just answer the damn question. If Palmer's on the transfer market, what's the asking price?
If I'm Chelsea, 150 minimum.
Whoa, I don't know.
So
about
why is
151.
Pulisic crazy at 80 that Milan's asking for?
So here's the thing: if we're inflating the market to 150 for Palmer, then sure, an inflated 80 million for Palmer, Pulisic makes sense there.
Look at what he means to Milan. We want to talk about Rice as the first name on the team sheet. Right now, if you're writing a team sheet for Milan, Pulisic healthy, he's up first one.
It's very true. It's very true. And he gets goals and he does everything. He can perform.
Imagine him Liverpool. Liverpool is one of the clubs. Imagine him on Liverpool.
Liverpool does not need a player like Pulisic.
Okay, they didn't need Isak.
I don't think Pulisic to the Prem. I don't think it'll go well for him again.
You're getting flashbacks.
I saw him get hurt. He'd play 3 games. He wouldn't even start all 3 games. And all of a sudden, he'd have another hamstring injury again.
Do you think he matured a little bit at Milan, though?
I do, but I just don't think those kinds of things like we saw it with Hazard. Like it gets to a point where the way he plays, he's just gonna get kicked so much over and over and over and over again, and eventually it catches up to you. And I think in Serie A, that's a lot more actual focused on actual defending. When the Prem, you just kind of get kicked when you go past somebody and they take the yellow card. Like, not that there's not any of that in Serie A, but it's not as much the Prem where like everybody's willing to just kick you and hack you down if you just decide to do one move. Where Serie A, you get a little bit more space and you can kind of run into that space. And I think that's why he's, at least for the first couple of years, he was avoiding a lot of the injuries he was having beforehand. Where now it seems like those are starting to come back a little bit. Whether it's wear and tear or whatever it is, like I just think him going back to the Prem, the amount of games he's going to be expected to play, I just see him getting injured again, and I don't think that's the best move for his career.
Now I see, like Arsenal's rumored for him, and I could see us going in and trying to get him. I just don't like the asking price. I don't like the asking price of 80 million, and I would like if we do get him a 50 million, maybe. Sure, that's an easy cop because it's the same value that we bought Medweke for, and I could see him filling in exactly as the role that Medweke is filling in as with us right now, because Trossard is, I think, 30 now. Like, he's the same age as me, and that dude does not have another couple years in him. And we got Trossard at, I think, the same age that we would get Pulisic at. I just saw he's 27. So you get him at his twilight years of, like, trying to be a service player in the team.
I just think
I don't know. I don't see, like, he's a great rotation in the squad, and like if you have a deep squad like what we got right now, I think he could come in and be a good like something like that. Unless he because it's tricky. Like I look back at us fucking over like dropping the ball and not picking up Semenyo. That like Semenyo should have been all we focused on over the summer, and then like I'm just realizing that's the same tattoo. But it's like Semenyo, it dropped right into City and is just they didn't need him over there, but he's starting and he's just tearing ass and like destroying everything. And like Arsenal, if we're signing a winger, we need an impact winger that we sign that's going to drop right into the starting 11 like that, And again, a healthy Pulisic can possibly drop right in and start.
Possibly.
I just don't see.
Wait a second. Trossard, Martinelli, or Pulisic, all three are healthy, and you're gonna debate on to start Pulisic.
Yeah, honestly,
I don't think
Outta
it's.
here.
I know as Americans we like to overrate our players, but I do think Pulisic would start. The only thing,
God, he's a
This is
shoo-in.
the only thing I will say about that though is I do think Pulisic's best position is on that right hand side, and I don't see them playing him over Saka. Whether you think he should or not, that's another debate. But I do think he would start. He should start on the left, fully healthy, assuming he isn't going to get injured. I do see him start is the sure starter on that left hand side.
this is the take that wins us over with our English fans again. They'll be like, "All right, these Yanks, I guess they know what they're talking about."
No,
Because I don't know.
listen.
Again, a healthy Pulisic is a starter on most teams. A healthy Pulisic,
But you just said.
Comparing
no,
him-
Might not start him.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Martinelli
I'm going to
and
stop you right
He's
there.
not starting on
I'm
my
going to pull up
team,
the
man.
Champions League table, and we're going to do what Pulisic start for these teams, Alec edition.
All right.
I
Or actually-
like that.
Actually, I'm going to ask both of you guys if you would start for these teams. We're going to go in the order.
fuck
We're gonna
outta
look at the
here.
entire
In
Champions
the
League
Champions
table.
League. Okay,
Oh,
Champions League. This is the Champions League.
I'm going to just go top to. I'm going to do like the first like 12 teams or so, and we'll go from there.
Yes or no, Alec? I don't want to hear
Yeah.
your bullshit. Yes or no?
All right.
All right. So we already said Arsenal is.
Yes.
I would also say yes. He's on the left hand side personally.
I'm saying no because we got Martinelli. I'm a Martinelli
Get
guy.
the fuck out of here.
Ah!
I'm
I'm
sorry.
about to get a noise. We're never going to be able to do StreamYard again. I'm about to get a noise complaint.
Bayern. I'm going to say no
No.
for Bayern.
No.
He's not better than Olise. He's not better than Luis Diaz.
No.
Liverpool.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Cody Gakpo. Again,
We said
that's another.
we said we don't want to hear your bullshit. Yes or no?
I think they're the same level of player. I don't hate yes or no either way on this one. I'd probably go no, but I don't hate yes or no on this one either way.
All right.
Spurs.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's an easy yes.
Yeah.
This is an easy no.
I think
but-
I would start on Spurs right now.
This is an easy no. Barcelona. He's not starting over Rafinha or Yamal.
No.
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 This is an interesting one. Chelsea.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
I'm going 150% yes. He's better than Garnacho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he starts on the left hand side easily.
Yeah.
There's an argument for him to start on the right hand side.
On the right. Yeah.
If I'm being honest, like there's an argument he starts on both sides depending who's playing. Like if Enzo's playing and Palmer's out right, no. But if Palmer's playing in the middle, there's an
Yes.
argument to start him over Neto.
Regardless
or
of
Esteban
him being
right
healthy
now.
or not, he's a great. Yeah.
Yeah. Sporting's probably a yes if I had to
Yes.
guess.
Sure. Yeah.
City.
God no. He's starting at City. No.
Who do they have on the left right now?
You got
Uh,
Semenyo on the left right now, and he
I
got
think Semenyo's been
Doku.
on the right more.
Semenyo's
Let
right.
me
Is
check
he?
the last Prem
Isn't it like
game.
it's not Sabinho,
Uh,
Doku or
the last Prem game was Semenyo and Foden on the wings. Foden was on the right.
Right. Yeah.
then no. Pulisic no.
Yeah,
No.
and game before that looks like, yeah, I'm gonna say no for City as well because I would either way I would go Semenyo and Cherky on the wings probably
Yeah.
over him.
Yeah.
Real Madrid.
No.
No, he's not starting.
I agree. This is an interesting one because I don't think they play with out and out wingers. Yeah, they don't play with out and out wingers. Inter.
Yes.
You put him in like a striker spot next to Martinez over Thuram.
I let him float wherever the fuck
Yes,
he wants. He's
yeah.
destroying Serie.
I
Oh,
don't.
right, that's the
I
thing.
don't hate that. I think him and Thuram's a good debate. Ironically,
Yeah.
he has more goals than Thuram, and he's not really playing out and out
Yeah.
striker. So, but I can understand that. PSG.
No.
No.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Kvaratskhelia or whatever.
Not a
Yeah.
Kvaratskhelia, Doué, or Barcola.
No.
And if we wanted to get a little technical, if we wanted to put Dembele back on the wing, they have 4 people that can play on the wing that are better than him. Newcastle.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he starts over
Pulisic?
anybody.
Eating Voltamata?
Well, he's got to start playing Voltamata for him to feed him.
I gotta
Right.
go do laundry after that one.
And I'll do two more. Juventus.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think on the right hand side over Conceição easily. Him and Yildiz is a great debate. I'd probably take Yildiz if I'm being honest. But that's a good debate. And then the last one, Atletico.
Yes.
Ooh.
Who starts on the wings, Alex?
Yeah. Who's starting over there?
No. You tell me right now. Who starts on the wing for Atletico?
His son's not starting on the wings, right? He's a defender, I'm pretty sure. Simeone's son.
No, he's a right winger.
Luigi, right? He's a
winger.
winger.
He plays right mid because they play a 4-4-2, but he plays right mid when he plays normally, I believe.
So you tell me who Pulisic would have to beat out.
I mean, he'll start, but I'm just saying, like
it's either Alex Baena or Nico Gonzalez, and then actually they just got Adel Lookman, and I'd play Lookman over him. But
I play Lookman,
but I'd play Lookman and Pulisic. So either way, he starts.
Okay, so how many clubs did you just name?
I did the top 14 from the Champions League.
And I heard no.
We all agreed on the nose. We all agreed on the nose, and for most of them, and there were only just a couple that I said like no.
It was Madrid, PSG, City, and Barca.
Were the definitive no's.
And Bayern, right? Yeah.
Oh, and Bayern. So.
Yeah.
So basically, he doesn't play in the Super League that they just destroyed. But he plays for everybody else. But Martinelli. Maybe Martinelli.
I kind of want to do. I don't want to continue this bit, but I almost want to do this with Martinelli because I think my answer would change for a lot of these.
No. Get the fuck out of there.
Oh, God.
Look, I got the Steve Nash shirt from Goodwill too. You can find a lot of stuff
from Goodwill. Wow. All right. Listen, I mean, again, we need Pulisic healthy because God, we need him. Captain America for this summer, man. Like
we're not making it out of the group. We're not making it out of the group.
So let's talk about the U.S. men's national team a little bit here.
We're not even going to get the tournament in our nation anymore.
No,
take that away from us.
Yeah,
we don't deserve that. We're like in timeout.
So my
we could talk U.S. men's team for a sec.
My buddy texted our group chat today, and he said, "Fellas, I want this is a serious question. I don't want to get excited about the World Cup if we're not going to make a run. Where do you guys genuinely believe the U.S. can get to?" And that was just his question. Like, how far do we genuinely like? He's like, are we going to get to the Final Four? Are we going to get to the quarterfinal? Like, where are we making it? And I'll let you guys answer, and I'll give my opinion on this and what I think is going to happen.
It looks bleak. It doesn't look good. We're lucky to make it to the round of 16. Well, not lucky to make it to the round of 16, but we're lucky to make it past that.
Remember, it's an extended whatever this year too.
Oh, it's an extended group stage, right? Yeah. It's like
no, just like the whole thing. There's more teams involved. I can't think of the word.
There's 48 teams now. 48.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So it's normally like, 36, isn't it?
32 was the previous.
32. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's following this Champions League format almost. I think it's
still groups, but it's still groups. So that's
okay.
I want to say 16. No, sorry, not 16. 12 groups of 4. Top 2 all go through, and then it's like the next 8.
Yeah, it's like
third place teams or something.
Yeah,
which is just kind of silly, but. But then that's how they get to a round of 32 and then a 16, 8.
It's almost like March Madness cutting down, I think.
Yeah, it's similar to March Madness if March Madness did groups and had a little less teams.
Yeah. All right, so Alec, what's your answer?
I don't know. I'm going to look at the group right now that we're in. USA World.
I believe it's Australia, Paraguay, and then there's one of the whatever European qualifier team.
Paraguay, Australia, yeah.
Turkey. Right?
I don't know, man.
I think Turkey's the worst, or if they were to qualify, I think Turkey's the most difficult matchup for us.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we're only just starting to. Yeah, okay, so it's Turkey, Slovakia, or something like that. We were just starting to build some chemistry during that last international break, and Pochettino was just kind of starting to get something together. And I think this extended international, without, God, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but without having an international break for the past couple months, the U.S. team might have really just like taken a blow. Like, we'll see how they get together in the next one in March and how things go. But like, I don't know, man. It's a lot of pressure on Pochettino going into a tournament with like almost like just about a years of experience with the team, and with a team selection that's still like up in the air with you don't know who's going to go where. I mean, the easy shouts, you got Pulisic and Weston McKennie and stuff. They weren't, but moving on and play like with how other world teams are, again, the gap has completely widened. I feel like we've taken steps back in a time where we've had U.S. players starting to shine and flourish, and like we're not getting anything from them. I don't know.
Brandon,
You're shaking your head. Is that a disagreement, or you're shaking your head at the state of, because that the validity in what I'm saying here?
Well, Weston McKennie doesn't even. By the way, your boy needs a haircut. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Oh yeah.
we digress. Weston McKennie isn't even going to start.
Whoa, what?
Weston McKennie doesn't start. I don't think he starts.
He's the defensive
be-
mid, right?
That'd be such a holler
Center
from
mid, defensive
Poch.
mid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I really don't think. And like, you'd have to give me a beat to pick an 11, but I don't have McKennie in the 11.
Oh no! He's been playing
I
so
think-
good this season.
He's been
He has been having a
fantastic.
good season.
He's been fantastic. I don't think he fits. I don't think Poch plays him.
I do think so. And I'll let you finish, but I know I'll give my explanation on it when you're done.
Okay. I think he gets a little experimental. I think he plays Dest. I think he sits Dest with like a Tyler Adams or something like that, or a Tanner Tessman or something. But anyways, Dream World, I think in March Madness terms, I think Elite Eight. I think is the absolute. I think that's where they cap. I don't think there's a high probability that they make it that far. Was I just kind of fucking off with not making it out of the group? Yes, I think they make it out of the group. Do they win the group? But I can see them making some sort of a run, winning a game or two outside of the group. But again, it's the biggest tournament in the world, so you have no idea who's going to show up when, who you're going to see. I think more so than in most World Cups, I think location is going to play a massive deal in these games. Because, I mean, in the group stage, obviously they're not going to, but like if the U.S. gets a game down in Dallas or something like that, doesn't even have to be against Mexico. It's going to be majority opposing team supporters.
To be fair though, a certain orange man might ban the countries from entering by the time we play them. So we might luck out that we might just ban every country from coming here, and that the only.
Well, I said that. I said that 15 minutes ago. We like this might never even happen. Like, who knows? Like, but yeah, no. To circle on back, I don't think McKennie starts. So go ahead, Zach.
So granted, obviously it's Poch. I think in terms of what he's achieved in his career, he's easily the best manager that the U.S. has ever had. With that being said, he still is a serial bottle job. You can take a man out of Spurs, but you can't take the Spurs out of a man. Only a Spurs team would give up a penalty within the first 30 seconds of a Champions League final. I do think McKennie starts. I think he's been playing it kind of similar for Juventus right now. I think he plays the same sort of role that Conor Gallagher played under Pochettino, where he's kind of advanced pressing. He's not as much there to create as he is there to the press and make chances out of his pressing and his defensive work high up the field. I think he starts there alongside probably way on the right, Pulisic on the left, and then given form, it's up for debate, but probably Ricardo Pepi. I think just you take the guy that's been confident and playing with confidence.
He's injured.
Is he injured?
He hasn't been playing, and Balogun just scored twice against PSG.
Well, beforehand, Pepi was riding the hot.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, beforehand,
Yeah.
Pepi was flying with it. But yeah, he broke his arm or something. He hasn't played.
He came on and got injured right away in the same game.
I do think that'll go down because obviously I think the three will be Haji Wright. It could be Josh Sargent too. I don't know who he favors. But it'll be any of the three of Sargent, Haji Wright, Pepi, and Balogun. I think you just ride whatever ones has the hot hand going into the tournament.
Who starts next to Chris Richards, center back?
That's a great question. I don't have an answer for that yet.
Yeah.
I'd have to really look into it.
You see Landon Donovan today? He just said Noah Kai Banks. Do you see that?
I did not see that.
He's like an 18-year-old. Like, he's a stud. He's playing in the Bundesliga right now.
I'd have to look in more into him. I've heard the name. I can't say I know a ton about him.
Yeah. He's a stud. I don't know if he starts at the World Cup stage, but he's a stud.
Yeah. But I think so. This is what I've been saying, and I do genuinely believe this. The Orange Man and Infantino are all buddy, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, do not even say what you're about to say right now.
Like, I genuinely do think we're going to get some favorable calls throughout the tournament, and there's gonna be some hand raisers, be like, "Hey, what the fuck is this?" And I'm not gonna care in the moment, but I'm not. If it happens, I'm not gonna be surprised. Granted, the refs might just hate the United States so much that we don't get these calls.
I think it's gonna be that more so than that.
Yeah, it'll probably be one or the other.
Yeah, right.
If it does go in our favor, I think we'll make the quarterfinal. If it doesn't, it's going to come down to matchups and who we end up playing. Granted, with the extended format, there's a lot bigger
quarterfinal being Elite Eight, basically, right?
Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah. Okay.
With obviously the extended tournament. The thing that can happen now is that there are worse teams that are going to make it through, and you might end up with a more favorable run. Obviously, we kind of have to see how it all plays out. See who goes through. There's always upset games in the World Cup, so on paper it could look like we're playing France, but you just never know until the tournament comes around. So I think with a favorable-ish run, quarterfinals, I think the expectation should be the quarterfinals. Will we make it? Probably not, but I do think we have a team that is good enough if we face the right opponents to cause some problems and make that quarterfinal. Do I think it's going to happen though? Probably not. I think realistically we're probably still around a 16 exit.
Yeah, man. Listen. I'm hoping for the best. We can only hope for the best with the cup this year because boy, it's looking gloomy. Just even regards to the extracurricular. Geez, can't even speak anymore. Yeah. Hopefully all these games can still get played here. We don't see any kind of chaos erupt with that.
First stage, how about U.S. Sweden? One day at a time, fellas. Let's start tomorrow. This isn't a throwaway game in Rochester, fellas.
Yeah.
Okay? Big deal tomorrow.
Oh, you're talking the hockey game. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Big
Put
Buffalo
on the sweaters,
matchup.
put on the toques, pretend you're a Canadian, celebrating the United States of America.
Oh, yeah.
Forget about the orange guy for a little bit.
Some Olympics coverage, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Tune in, everybody. Keep on watching. And keep on watching us, all right? We're going to wrap up here. That hour flew by. But before we, get deeper into some of the talks with the U.S. team, we'll plug it there. Thanks for the remote session, y'all. We'll do this again sometime if needed in the future. We got Pulisic here in the middle. Keep on watching 71Kicks, everybody. Find us on the socials. Find us everywhere.
Nobody's going to watch us anymore because you said Martinelli over Pulisic.
Martinelli's the man. He's going to score in the Champions League final. You heard it here first.
You just kicked us while we're down. Thanks, bud.
Thank God we live in a reality where that's not going to happen.
Let's see it happen, baby. All right. Peace out.
USA! USA!